Hi guys, and welcome to another edition of my bookshelf tour. In this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my Russian history books. I hope you enjoy. So to start off, the first of my Russian collection is Crimson Snow by David Schoen. This is a historical fiction account, and it dealt a lot with members of the Romanovs, the royal house. I don't remember too much about it. I read it quite a while ago, but I do remember this being pretty good. These three books are actually a trilogy by Robert Alexander, but you don't necessarily have to read them all together. I think you can read them very individualized. The first one is The Kitchen Boy, a novel of the last Tsar. I'm not really sure how to talk about this book because this is a tricky one, and there are so many twists and turns, and I mean, I'm just going to leave it at that. If you're interested, I suggest you read this. It is really interesting. The second one is Rasputin's Daughter. As the title suggests, it talks about Rasputin's daughter, Maria. And this was another really good one. And then the third book is The Romanov Bride. This is about Grand Duchess Elizaveta. I didn't really like this one as much, so I would highly recommend the first two. And then if you want to keep going with Alexander's trilogy, then I suggest reading the last one. The White Russian by Tom Bradby. This is seriously one of my favorite books. It's about this police investigator who's trying to solve all these mysterious murders in St. Petersburg. It's just really, the wording in it is beautiful, the descriptions, the characters. I have a hard time putting this book down whenever I read it. Highly recommend it. A Countess Below Stairs by Eva Ibotsan. I hope I pronounced that right. This is about a Russian countess named Anna, and I believe she's a teenager in this, and the book is actually considered a young adult book. It talks about how she leaves Russia after the revolution, and how I think she becomes a maid in America, and how she falls in love with the person she's working under. I didn't really like this book that much, but it's still a must if you really like Russian Revolution stuff. Robert K. Massey's The Romanovs is a non-fiction book about the Romanovs, and this account deals mostly with the discovery of the Romanov bones and their graves, and the process of how they determined which bones belonged to which Romanov. A very fascinating book. I highly recommend it. The Fetch by Laura Whitcomb. So I guess I have to explain. The Fetch is actually described as kind of like a death messenger of sorts. Someone who escorts souls to heaven and hell. This book, I believe, is also considered a young adult book. It's about this fetch named Calder who runs across the souls of Alexei and Anastasia Romanov. And I really liked this. It was very interesting, something new I've not seen in the Russian Romanov area. It has like a fantasy supernatural twist to it. The Czarinas Daughter by Carolee Erickson. This is about Tatiana Romanov, and it's told entirely through her perspective. Not one of my favorites, but still a really good read and told through the perspective of someone else for a change. The Last Days of the Romanovs by Helen Rappaport. This is a nonfiction account of the Romanovs with their stay at Ekaterinburg. It basically chronicles their time during what they're doing in their entrapment, and then leading up to their death, and then I think it also has a lot to do with the aftermath. From Tom Rob Smith, I have Child 44, The Secret Speech, and Agent 6. These are historical fiction as well, and I would also classify them as mystery thrillers. Out of the three, Child 44 is my favorite. It has the best story and the best mystery. I didn't really like the secret speech that much. I was actually really disappointed, but it was still pretty good. And then Agent 6 I have actually yet to read, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping I won't be as disappointed in that one as I was the secret speech. And all three books do follow the same detective in them. The Romanoff Conspiracy by Glenn Mead. I actually got this book for Christmas and I haven't read it yet, but I am definitely going to do a book review for it once I finish reading it. And I'm really excited to read this one. First, there was the Romanoff Conspiracy, and now there's the Romanov Prophecy by Steve Berry. This is another one of my favorite books. I don't know what it is. There's a lot of these Russian-based books that I absolutely love, and this is another one. It's about this black lawyer who goes to Russia to deal with the coronation of a new Romanov. He gets in a lot of trouble from, I guess, some gangsters who don't want this to happen, and so he goes on the run with this circus performer. They end up following these clues that are basically saying that Alexei and Anastasia, in fact, lived. So there's a big mystery, and kind of like the Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons and stuff like that. The mystery is kind of like that style of thriller. So that's it for this bookshelf tour. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and remember, you can ask me any type of question in the comments below. Bye!